Imagine a person living in his house. He starts breaking the windows, setting it on fire, crushing everything. Does it seem logical to you? No? But what if I tell you that we are doing the very same thing to our home, our one and only home, planet Earth? I mean that people behave in a counterproductive way when doing things that harm the environment. For example, did you know that according to the World Resources Institute, about 940 million tons of CO2 emissions leak out of landfills every year? That 57% of the global food emissions come from animal products, while they make up only 18% of the world's calories. That around 50,000 square miles of forest, lungs of our planet, are lost each year. And I believe you understand. Then even if our chainsaws run on biofuel, it's not a solution. Not at all. We can already see the consequences of what we are doing. For example, not far away from my house is a large fizzy drink factory, and all the wells and lakes and rivers that are close to it are completely dry. It is because of the factory that is pumping out all the underground water springs, and the government does nothing to stop this. And this is only a tiny bit of all the bad things we do to our dear planet Earth. We behave like we don't live here. It's not ours. And we have 50 more Earths for us to live on after we completely destroy this one. Of course, you can say that the cosmic area is near. We will colonize the galaxy. Humanity will become universe-wide. But in fact, it won't be that soon before we will be able to colonize other planets. And even if we will, there's no guarantee that we will find a planet so perfect, with living conditions similar to the ones on Earth, that we'll be able to live on it. And we don't know whether it will happen sooner than Earth is going to become absolutely impossible to live on. This summer, I've gone to the Carpathian Mountains, and I've been wandering in the forest, feeding squirrels and birds, taking photos of giant trees and various peculiar plants, enjoying every second. And then I thought how irresponsible humans are when cutting down trees. I imagined how those mighty trees fall under the heat of axes, how squirrels and other forest dwellers run for their lives away from their destroyed homes. Not only do people destroy the planet's lungs, but also destroy different biodiversity hotspots. This thought was absolutely unbearable to me. Humans are also a part of nature, but while possessing power and intelligence, we must realize our responsibility for its weak and fragile part, as well as for the whole ecosystem. Every single person is responsible for their actions. Everyone is a part of the big Earth family. A person who acts without paying attention to the harm that his action caused to the environment could benefit short period wise, but in the long run, he will suffer from the consequences of the climate change that his actions provoked. The only solution that I see that will help us prevent irreversible changes is if all people realize this problem and will join forces in order to stop damaging nature and our planet, our common home. So, let's start with me. What do I do to save our home? I try to minimize my paper consumption because it is made out of wood. In general, I consume all other goods, water, electricity, as little as possible. Even though my school is pretty far away from my home, I go there on foot. I do not use a car or a bus because it is very important to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, oil in particular. I don't eat beef and I don't drink milk because these products are one of the most eco-unfriendly. But of course, I realize that the impact of my actions is so tiny that it is not going to change or stop anything. But my idea is to scale my actions. The more people will realize the problem and join me and my actions, our shared effort will start to actually have an impact. The more people will join, the more tangible the impact will be. Just like the tiny rills merge in a powerful mountain stream, crushing everything on its way. I was excited that at the 26th Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, world leaders promised to work together and conserve forests and the ecosystem. They committed to halt and reverse forest loss and land degradation by 2030, and I do hope that they will keep their promise. And for that to happen, people from all around the world should support and vote for politicians who respect science, and we need to hold them accountable for implementing the most effective climate change strategies. But we shall not count on the government only, but join our forces to speed up the prevention of catastrophic consequences of climate change. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson, compared humanity to James Bond, strapped to a doomsday device, desperately trying to work out which colored wire to pull to turn it off, while a red digital clock ticks down remorselessly to a detonation that will end human life as we know it. Except that the tragedy is that we are not in a movie, and the doomsday device is real, and the clock is ticking irrevocably. A global survey published by the BBC illustrates the depth of anxiety many young people are feeling about climate change. Nearly 60% of young people approached said they felt very worried or extremely worried. More than 45% of those questioned said feelings about the climate affected their daily lives. Three-quarters of them said they thought the future was frightening, or half say they think humanity is doomed. Two-thirds reported feeling sad, afraid, and anxious. Many felt fear, anger, despair, grief, and shame, as well as hope. One 16-year-old said, "It's different for young people. For us, the destruction of the planet is personal." So each person, no matter young or old, who is troubled by the future of Earth, by climate change, by the preservation of the environment, has to act immediately. One human alone can do nothing. Humanity, as a closed-knit system, is capable of doing things that are nearly impossible to imagine. Could a person 100 years ago possibly assume that one day we could explore the mysterious dark space above the sky? As we can see, human civilization was able to do even that. So only together we will be able to save our common house, Mother Earth, its green forests, blue seas, fresh air for us and the next generations. Let us do it together, and let us do it for each other. Thank you very much.